Hello everybody. Hello everyone. Welcome to today's class. So this is the revision lecture for Maths 2, and I am Madhuri from LK Vauji MPS Secondary School, Matunga. We will be looking at the topic coordinate geometry in today's class, and maybe tomorrow we will start with a different topic, different lesson. So what are the subtopics in this lesson? Axis, origin, quadrant. What is axis? What is origin? What is quadrant? Like that. Then what are the parallel lines? How to get the equations? How to find coordinates of a point? How to plot a point? And how to write equation of a line. Okay. So if we start with the very basic things, it's that the horizontal line that you see here, that's the x-axis. The vertical line is the y-axis. The point where both the axes meet is the origin, right? Then on the right hand side of the x-axis, all are positive numbers. On the left hand side, all are negative numbers. On the top, towards the above the zero on the y-axis, it's the positive numbers. Below the y-axis, below the x-axis, the numbers are negative that way. And the entire plane is divided into 4 parts, which are called as quadrant. Each part is called as quadrant. Okay, starting from here, this is the first quadrant, and the second quadrant, then that's the third quadrant, and lastly that's the fourth quadrant. Okay, so students, please be attentive. I see there are only 60 participants, but at the end we'll be doing a quiz. So whatever you are learning now, whatever we are doing revision now, at the end it will be helpful. So please make small notes, write down few things which are important so that you can score well in the quiz at the end. Okay, and so those are the 4 quadrants. You could notice that the first quadrant has both the sides, both the signs positive. We'll look at it a little later. Okay, before that, let's look at how to find the coordinates of any point. So to get the coordinates of any point, we need to look at its x coordinate first, always the x coordinate first, and then the y coordinate. Okay, so that gives us the coordinates of a point. Like here for P, the x coordinate is 2 and the y coordinate is 3. Okay, so those are the coordinates of point P. Likewise, what are the coordinates of point Q? The x coordinate first, which is -3, and then the y coordinate, which is 2. So 3 comma -3 comma 2. That's how you get the coordinates, right? Let's look at few examples. I'll quickly start the writing tool here. Yes. So coordinates of point E. For E, we'll look at the x-axis first, which is 2. So x is 2 here, and then look at the y coordinate. Y coordinate is 1. So that's the point E with the coordinates 2, 1. Next, we look at the coordinates of point F. So here is point F, and we start with the x coordinate first always. What's the x coordinates? It's -3, and what's the y coordinates? It's a +3. So -3, 3, those are the coordinates of point F. Next, look at the coordinates of point G. Coordinates of point G, here it is G. So starting with the x coordinate first, that's -4. So -4 comma the y coordinate, which is 2. So -4 2, that's the coordinates of point G. And lastly, point T. So starting with the x coordinate, that's 3, and the y coordinate, that's -3. Okay, so that's how we get the coordinates. Next, we note that for any point which is on the x-axis, any point which is on the x-axis, it is always of the form x comma 0. So the y coordinate will always be 0. Okay. Likewise, what about a point on the y-axis? If there is a point on the y-axis, then always for any point on the y-axis, it will be of the form 0 comma y. So y can be any number and it will be always 0 comma y. So x coordinate will always be 0 for any point on the y-axis. And lastly, what are the coordinates of origin? So coordinates of origin is 0 comma 0. Okay. Now here we need to look at how to identify which quadrant the point lies in. Okay, so how do we do that? We just look at the signs of the what do you call? We just look at the signs of the coordinates. So let's say if both the signs are positive, so that's a first quadrant. If one side is negative and the other is positive, that's the second quadrant. If both the signs are negative, that's the third quadrant. And lastly, if the first is positive and the second is negative, that's the fourth quadrant. Okay, so quickly once again check. For the first quadrant, both the signs are positive. For the second quadrant, the first sign is negative, second is positive. For third quadrant, both negative. And lastly, one positive, one negative. Okay, let's do some problems. So in which quadrants or on which axis the points given below lie? Fine. So we have to be careful. First thing, we have to look at the signs. And second thing, we have to look for zeros. Okay. For some points, you could see that there are zeros. So there is a 0, it means it would lie on the x-axis or the y-axis. Okay, so we need to really be careful with this. We need to check which axis, if we need to check if there is any 0 there. Okay. So if you look at the first point, it says 5, 3. Both the signs are positive. So what's that quadrant? It's the first quadrant. Look at the second one. It's negative and a positive. So first negative and then positive, it is the second quadrant. Next is positive and a negative. So positive and negative, that will be the fourth quadrant. Okay, if I quickly draw a diagram like this over here, this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. So positive comma positive is the first quadrant, then negative comma positive, that's the second quadrant, both negative, that's the third quadrant, and lastly a positive and a negative, that's the fourth quadrant. Okay, we draw it like that. Fine. So if you look at fourth one now, fourth one is of the form 0 comma 4. So there's a 0 at x. If there's a 0 at x, that means the point is not on the x-axis, it is on the y-axis. So whenever there is a number for the coordinate and the other one is 0, the point will lie on the axis where, which has a non-zero number. So x is 0, so forget this, just cross it out. We are left with y. That means this point 0 comma 4 is lying on the y-axis. Okay, I will just quickly write it out over here on y-axis. Okay, let's continue. For the fifth one, check, it's negative 3 comma 0. Again, if you check what is x and what is y, x is negative 3 and y is a 0. So forget about this 0. The point lies on x-axis, right? Since x is negative 3, that means the point lies on, the x-axis. All right. If you look at sixth one, the first sign is negative, the second is positive. So negative and a positive, that's the second quadrant. And seventh one, both the signs are positive, so that's the first quadrant. Eighth one, first negative and then positive, that will be the second quadrant, isn't it? Second quadrant. And over here, before comparing the signs, look for a 0. So x is 0, y is -4. X is 0, forget about it. We have y equals to -4. That means the point lies on y-axis. Okay. And lastly, a positive and a negative. So positive and a negative is given in the fourth quadrant. Okay. So that's how we identify the quadrants, and if any point lies on any particular axis, it can be identified that way. Okay. And now the next concept is how to plot a point. So given a point, how do we plot it? So let's say we have to plot this point P, which is 4, 3. So how do you start? So x is 4. You could just always check what is x and what is y. X is 4. So you start with 4 on the x-axis. So here is 4, and then y is 3. So we move 3 units up. If y is negative, we move that many units down. In this case, y is a positive 3, so move 3 units up. So 1, 2, and 3. That way, this is the point. Okay. Or the other way of doing it is you could draw a line from x equals to 4 and a line from y equals to 3, and the point where both of these dotted lines meet, that is your particular point. Okay, that is one thing. Let us look at another example. Let's say we need to plot a point 2, 4. Okay, so how do we plot it? X is 2 and y is 4. So start at x equals to 2. So I'll just quickly change color of pen. Just a minute. Yeah. So x is 2. We start at x equals to 2 at this point. Okay. And then y is positive. So move up 4 units up because y is 4. So moving 4 units up from here to here, it's 1, then there's 2, then this is 3, and here is 4. So this is the point. This point is, let's say, P dash. Okay, so this point is 2, 4. All right, that's how we plot the point. Or you could draw one line like this from y equals to 4, and one line like this from x equals to 2, and that's how you get the point. So for this year, you could do, drawing these lines and stuff, but you have graphing in the next class also, in class 10. So there you don't have to draw these dotted lines. You have to straight away put a point. Okay, in this class also, for class 9th also, in case you get this type of questions for graphing, you don't have to draw these dotted lines. But what is important is the point, and of course the labeling. Okay, that these dotted lines are not important. So with practice, with a lot of practice, you will be like able to get the point without drawing those dotted lines. All right, let's move on to plotting some points now. So check the first point, that is -2, 4. So here first, when you draw the graph, you need to show that this is 0 over here, then this is the x-axis, then this is the y-axis, that way. Okay, and of course, see, labels are done for like 5 and 10, but in between there is a 1 over here, 2, 3, 4, that way. On the left hand side, it's -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and so on. Okay. So here you could see it says -2, 4. So x is -2 and y is 4. So you start with x equals to -2. That's over here. Okay, no need to draw the dot or anything over there. Okay, so you start at x equals to -2 and then move 4 units up since y is 4. So moving 4 units up, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the point. And of course, we need to label it. So L -2, 4. Okay, next is 5, 6. So x is 5, y is 6. Start at x equals to 5. So that means we start over here and then move 6 units up. Since it's a positive, move 6 units up from here. So you will reach here. This point is point M, which is 5, 6. Next is -3, -4. That means x is a -3 and y is -4. So start at x equals to -3 and then y is -4. That means you have to move down 4 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the point. Okay, and now we label it. So that's N -3 -4, that way. Okay, students, I hope you're able to follow. We start with the x coordinate, and as per the requirement, if the y coordinate is positive, move that many units up, or if it's negative, move that many units down. Okay, let's look at the next one. 2 comma -3. So x is 2, y is -3. Okay, so quickly take a minute, or just take 10 seconds and quickly check where will the point lie, and then I'll mark it for you and you can compare your work. Yes, so 2 comma -3, x is 2 and y is -3. So start at x equals to 2 over here, and -3. -3 means we need to move down 3 units. So 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay, no need to draw anything. You just have to, what do you call it? You just have to put a plot dot. So over here, this point is P 2 comma -3. Okay, like that. And next point we have is, it says 6 comma -5. So x is 6 and y is -5. Starting at x equals to 6. So 5 is over here, that means x 6 is over here. And then -5, that means move down 5 units, so moving down this point over here. Okay, and you need to label it. So this is q 6 comma -5. Okay, so that's how you plot first, and then second, you need to label it. Okay, the last 2 points are interesting. Check everyone. This is S and this is T. So S is 7 comma 0. So X is 7, Y is 0. That means this point will lie on the Y, on the X axis. So X is 7. So just on the X axis, put a plotting for, just put a dot like this for the point S, which is 7 comma 0. Okay, and then we have the point T, 0 comma -5, x is 0 and y is -5. Forget about x, y is -5. So place the point on the y-axis at phi equals to negative, at y equals to -5. Okay, so here there is some problem of what? Okay, yeah. So y is at -5, this point, and of course we need to label it. So t 0 comma -5, that way. Okay, so that's about graphing or plotting the points. All right, let's continue. Something, the slide doesn't seem to change. Yeah. Okay, we did this. Now, lines parallel to x-axis. How do we write equation for any line which is parallel to x-axis like that? Okay, how do we do that? So we just check where the line is passing through. Okay, so notice this line DA is actually parallel to x-axis, but it is passing through which point? It is passing through 4. So the equation will be y equals to 4 because it's passing through the point on the y-axis, right? So the equation is y equals to 4 because the line is passing through 4. Okay, look at another example. This one, the line is passing through what point? It is passing through -4. Okay, but the criteria is this line should be parallel. In case if there's a little tilt, then it would be intersecting lines, right? So then it would be a different case. But only if the lines are parallel, then we can just tell whichever through whichever point the line is passing, that particular point becomes the equation. So here it's passing through y equals to -4. So y equals to -4 is the equation. Okay, I'll write it out here. Y equals to -4 is the equation. Okay, now for this one, this line is parallel to the to the y-axis. And what is it passing through? What is it passing through? It is passing through the point 4. So this is on the x-axis. So x equals to, sorry, that's -4. Okay, it's -4. So here the answer is, for this one, the line is passing through the x-axis and it's -4. So the equation is x equals to -4. X equals to -4. Yeah. So for this one, anybody wants to try? Quickly raise your hand. Let's see. You just need to write through which point the line is passing through. I give you 10 seconds. Anybody wants to try? What is the equation of this line which is passing through the y, which is parallel to the y-axis and it's passing through the x-axis? Very good. I see Mayuri raising hand. Yes, Mayuri.
X equals to 3.
Fantastic. This line is passing through this point 3. So the answer is x equals to 3. Okay. One more. Okay, it's the same thing. All right. So that was about identifying the equation of lines which are parallel to either x-axis or parallel to y-axis. Now, looking at this question, this is one of the most important questions which is used, which is being asked in exam. Okay, and it can be from 3 marks, 2 to 3 marks. All right. So here they say x-axis and the line x equals to -4. These are the parallel lines. Okay, which are the two parallel lines? The x-axis and the line x equals to -4. These are parallel lines. What is the distance between these two lines? Okay, they are asking what is the distance between these two lines. So let's quickly draw it out. Now in exam, if this question is for 4 marks, then you should draw it out. If it is for 3 marks, go for drawing, graph it. Okay, you don't need a graph paper for this. You could just use your ruler and pencil to draw the grid. Okay, to draw the x-axis and y-axis actually, and then you can just highlight what two equation are these, and then you could find the distance between them. So first thing here is, which are the two lines? X-axis and line x equals to -4. So where is the x-axis? This one is the x-axis. Okay, that's the x-axis. And next, the other line is x equals to -4. So, yeah, what happened here? Line x equals to -4. Or maybe perhaps there's an error. It should be y equals to -4, because otherwise the lines won't be parallel. Okay, so x-axis is this, the horizontal line, and then the other line is y equals to -4. Y equals to -4 means the line will be passing through y equals to -4 that way. Okay, everybody. So check. Those are the two lines, and now we need to find the distance between them. So to find the distance between them, you just need to count how many how many units you could do, like how many boxes are there, how many units can we move down from one point to the other point, that way. So the distance is 4, that is 4 units. Okay, that's how the working is. Or in case if this question is asked for 1 mark, so straight away you just write the number, positive number. So in this case, the equation was y equals to -4. So just use the positive number. So 4 will be the answer. Suppose the question is, what is the distance between x-axis and the line y equals to -7? So you just use the same number, but positive, because distance can never be negative, right? So we have the number -7. So the answer is just 7. The distance between the two lines will be just 7. So in case this question is for 1 mark, you could try it out directly. In case it is for 2 marks or 3 marks, you could just draw the graph and then show that the distance between them is that much. Okay, let's look at. Okay, now this one, again, this question can be asked for 2 to 3 marks. Which of the equations given below have graphs which are parallel to the x-axis and which are parallel to y-axis? So remember one thing, students, something very general, that if a line is parallel, let's say line L is parallel to x-axis, so the equation will be always y equals to a, like it will be any number, y equals to any number, right? And suppose the line L is parallel to y-axis, then the equation will always be of the form, if it is parallel to y-axis, then it will be always of the form x equals to a. So it can be like x equals to 2, x equals to minus 2, x equals to 10, x equals to minus 11, anything x equals to. That means the line is parallel to y-axis. So this is something very important you need to remember. So just by looking at this, if you know this, you can just straight away tell to which axis the line is parallel. So whatever is the equation, we use the opposite of that. So for the first one, it's x equals to 3. That means the line is parallel to y-axis. In this case, it is y equals to 2. So the line is parallel to x-axis. Okay. Ulta, we have to tell the opposite. Okay, here the equation is x equals to this positive 6 goes on that side, it becomes negative 6. So x equals negative 6, that means the line is parallel to y-axis. Okay, likewise for the last one, anybody wants to try? The line is parallel to which axis? All right, I'll tell. So y equals to negative 5, that means the line is parallel to x-axis. Okay, just the opposite. So x-axis. And in case if you want to see the, graph of each of these, so x equals to 3, that means on the x-axis check where is 3. So this point is 3. That means the graph will be a line which is passing through x equals to 3, like that way. Okay, next is y minus 2 equals 0. So for this one, you just shift the 2 to that side, so it will become y equals to 2. That means plot a point on y equals to 2. So it's over here, y equals to 2. And then a line which passes through this point, y equals to 2. That's the graph. Okay. Look at third one, x equals to negative 6. So on the x-axis, check where is negative 6. Over here. Okay, and we just draw a line which passes through this point x equals to negative 6. Okay, and x equals to 3, it's yes, correct. Y equals to 2, that's correct. X equals to negative 6, that's correct. And lastly, y equals to negative 5. So y on the y-axis, yeah, and then there are questions, what type of figure do you see? Is that a rectangle? Is that a circle? Is that a triangle? What type of figure do you see? So you could see that opposite sides are clearly equal. That means it's a rectangle. Okay, that's how we graph the lines which are parallel to x-axis or y-axis. Okay, and then there are questions like this where which are involved, which are about graphing the equations. Okay, let's quickly do this last part and then we will have the quiz. So check, draw the graphs of these equations. So I'll just help you on trying out any one of these. Maybe we can work on this one. Okay. So 3x minus y equals to 0. All right. So what you should do is try to bring any one variable by itself. So let's say you need to get y by itself. So this is 3x minus y equals to 0. Y, get it to that side. So it will be plus y. So that's 3x equals to y. So we have the equation y equals to 3x. Okay. And then you draw the table x and y like that. So put random values for x. Let's say x is 0, let's say x is 1, let's say x is 2. So put random values for x and then try to get y. What if we put x equals to 0, y will be 0. What if we put x equal to 1, then y would be 3. Right? What if we put x equal to 2? So the equation will give us 6. Right? Okay, and now we just plot the point. So step one, this is the step one, get the any one variable by itself. This is step two, draw the table nicely like this, at least find 3 points, and then step 4 we plot these points. So 0 comma 0 is 1, and then 1 comma 3 is, yeah, 1 comma 3. So x is 1 and y is 3. So moving up, this point is 1 comma 3 and then 2 comma 6. So starting at x equals to 2 and moving up 6 units over here. So that's the point. And joining them, we get a line which is the graph. Okay, I'm not going to join it because it won't be okay. It did work. Okay, luckily that worked. So that's how we just join the points to get the graph. And then at any one end, you just need to write out what equation it is. So in this case, it's 3x minus y equals to 0. So you can write it on any one of the ends. Okay, that's how we do the graphing. All right, and then you have a lot of application questions, okay, which you can take a look at from your textbook. And now we have another 10-15 minutes. Let's quickly do this. So everyone just be ready. I'm going to put a link in the chat box. Okay, so everybody, please check chat box. Yes, that's the link. Please click on the link, enter your name, and you can join the quiz. Okay, I see 2 of you joined. Hello, everyone. Please join the link. Check the chat box. Check the chat box. You should be able to find the link. Click on that link. It will ask for your name. Enter your name. Okay, quickly enter your name. And click on start. You will be there waiting for others to join. Okay. I see 8 of you have joined. I'm going to quickly start the quiz. Others, please join. Okay, you can join in next 2-3 minutes as well. Here I have started the quiz. The quiz is just an opportunity for more number of participants to try out the questions, right? That's the first question. Okay, the question is, what are the coordinates of point E, right? I'll quickly change my screen, just a minute, everyone. So that those who have not joined, you can take a look at the questions, right? Okay, yeah. All right, let's look at the next question. What are the coordinates? Okay, yeah, it's starting, just a minute. Okay, which point has the coordinate -8, 0? So you have to check -8 on the x-axis and then 0. So no movement up or down. The point is on the x-axis. So which point is that? Quickly, which point is that? Okay, I'll give you enough hints and then you could also try out the choices. So time up. Check which point has the coordinate -8, 0. That was C. Okay, everyone, that was C. Next question. Well done, all of you doing great. Others, those who have still not joined, you can still join the quiz. The link is in the chat box. Click on the link, enter your name, and you can try out the quiz. Which point has the coordinate, what was it? 0, 6. X is 0, Y is 6. Which is that coordinate? Which is that point? Yes, come on everyone. 9 seconds. Which point has the coordinates 0, 6? Okay, time up. Right, very good. I see Madhura, Tejasvi, Iram trying out. Okay, next question. Which point has the coordinate? Okay, just a minute. Question is just to start. In what quadrant is the point S? In what quadrant is the point S? Look at the point S. Which is that quadrant? Very easy question. Very, very easy question. Which is that quadrant? Okay, which is that quadrant? Identify. Okay, and check. I see most of you have submitted, 2 of you remaining, and I'll end the question in 10 seconds. Quickly answer this. Which is the quadrant for the point S? Okay, let's see how many of you got it correct. Others, those who still want to try, you can still check the link from the chat box. And there, Madhura, Tejasvi, Mayuri, Adarsh, Anam, Iram, very good. You're doing great. See, the answer to this was the first quadrant. That is the first quadrant, right? S was in the first quadrant. Look at the next question. It says, name the quadrant where the point C is located. Where is the point C located? Okay. So first thing is you need to check where is point C and then locate the quadrant, right? So this is the first quadrant, that's the second quadrant, third and the fourth quadrant. Which quadrant has the point C? Okay, I'll give you 10 more seconds. Be quick. I'll give you 10 more seconds. 5 more seconds. Okay, time up. Let's see how many of you got it correct. Very good on that. The answer was second quadrant. Let's look at next question. The four regions on the coordinate plane are called. What are the four regions? So the coordinate plane, the axis, the x and the y axis, they break this entire plane into four parts. What are those four parts called as? What are those four parts? What's called as? The first choice is origin. Origin is the point of intersection of both the axes, right? Next is ordered pair. Okay, for those who want to see the question, check, that's the question. Yeah, ordered pair or okay, yes. So I'll give you 5 more seconds. What's the answer to this? Yeah, the answer to this is quadrants, right? Quadrants. So there are four quadrants, right? Well done, students. Let's look at the next question. Okay, it says in the ordered pair, 4, 9, which number is the y coordinate? Again, a super easy question. Which is the y coordinate? The first is always the x, the second is always the y. So what's the y coordinate? The y coordinate is 9, right? Let's look at the next question. The ordered pair 0, 0 is also known as what? What is it known as? Ordered pair 0, 0 is also known as dash. Okay. Another 10 seconds. 0, 0 is the point of intersection of both the axes. What is that point of intersection of both the axes called as? That's the origin. It's called as the origin. Let's look at the next question. In which quadrant do the point -3, -5 lie? In which quadrant does the point -3, -5 lie? Both these signs are negative. Both these signs are negative. So what will be the correct choice? Both the signs are negative. 10 seconds, students. Both the signs are negative. If both are positive, first quadrant. One negative, one positive, second quadrant, right? If both are negative, that's the third quadrant. The correct answer to this was third quadrant. Okay, let's look at the next question. Which point lies on x-axis? Among the given choices, which point lies on x-axis? Remember, whenever the point is lying on x-axis, the y has to be 0. If the point is lying on x-axis, the y has to be 0. So which among the choices has the y coordinate to be 0? Yes, that was the 5 more seconds. Please try. Third choice, 3, 0 or something. Right? The y quadrant will always be 0. Let's look at the next question. What is the equation of this line? A very nice question. What is the equation of this line? This line is passing through what point? The line is passing through what point? It is in between 0 to 5. This red line is between 0 to 5. So it's passing through what point? It's passing through the y-axis, yes? What is the point? 2 more seconds. And time's up. It is passing through y equals to 4. The answer was y equals to 4. Okay. Check. Check next question. What is the equation of this line? What is the equation of this line? This line is passing through the x-axis. And what's the point? What's the point? Okay, you have 10 seconds to answer. The equation of this line. The line is passing through x-axis and through which point? So what will be the equation? Passing through x-axis, it's passing through the point 2. The answer was x equals to 2. Let's look at next question. Okay, so the next question is, what is the equation of this line? These questions are really important. These questions are really important. What is the equation of this line? This line is passing through the y-axis, right? It's passing through the y-axis. What's the point? Okay, it's passing through -1. So the answer was y equals to -1. Okay, it was y equals to -1. 2 more questions, students. Try to give you 100%. To graph x plus y equals to 3. If x is 2, then what will be y? Check. The sum of x and y is 3. Total has to be 3. If x is 2, what will be y? The total has to be 3. If x is 2, then what will be y? What? I see 14 of you have answered. Well done. The answer was 1. If x is 2, what should be y? So that the sum is 3. Okay, and then last question. To graph x plus y equals to 5, if x is 0, then y is what? The sum of two numbers is 5. If x is 0, then what will be y? What should be added to 0 to get a 5? What should be added to 0 to get a 5? Okay, time up. The answer was 5, right? So I hope you enjoyed the quiz. It was just to ensure that many of you get a chance to work, to show your work, to mark your presence, right? So there, let's look at the scores. It's loading at my end. So third, Tejasvi, second, Madhura, and first, Mayuri. Congratulations, good, well tried. And for those who were there, just check your names here. Mayuri, Madhura, Tejasvi, Adarsh, Asif, Shruti, Anam, Iram, Shafi, Palak, very good. Nishant, Nikita, good. Okay, at least you tried. Maybe there can be some connection errors or what, so whatever. Just a minute. Yeah, so that was a revision lesson on coordinate geometry from Maths 2. Tomorrow we'll be doing another lesson. Thank you for joining, everyone. Have a nice day.